Good morning. Today we'll move on to talk about what a person can eat. How does he have the Su'udot of Shabbat this year that Erev Pesach is also a Shabbat? We know that there is a mitzvah to have 3 Su'udot on Shabbat, on Friday night, on Shabbat morning and on Shabbat afternoon, Su'udah Shlishit. And these 3 Su'udot should, in the first instance, be with bread. Something you're going to wash over and say hamotzi with. The halacha is that it's forbidden to have on the day before Pesach, matzot. The Gemara talks very sharply about a person who can't control himself and can't wait to have the chametz on Pesach night and has it the day before Pesach. There are 3 opinions what it means that the day before Pesach it's forbidden to have matzah. One opinion is already from the night before. The second opinion of the Rambam is that it's from the morning. The third opinion is that it's from midday. Halacha follows the middle opinion, that from the morning of Erev Pesach, it's forbidden for a person to have matzah. Matzah with which a person will fulfill the mitzvah of eating matzah in the night. Such matzah is forbidden to be consumed from the morning of Erev Pesach. So on Friday night, it's fine for a person to wash and say hamotzi on matzot, which he'll be using the following night, and to have his meal of Shabbat with such matzah. The problem is on Shabbat morning. What does a person eat? Because as we said, from Shabbat morning you can no longer have the matzah. So one option is to wake up early, pray Shahrit early, and to set aside from before Shabbat a minimal amount of chalot, which a person knows he and his family will consume, and to eat that on Shabbat morning before 10 o'clock. As long as a person consumes those chalot before 10 o'clock, the meal can continue after 10 o'clock, by the way. The meal doesn't have to conclude at 10. As long as a person washes and eats his chalot, bread, before 10, that's fine. 10 o'clock in England, that's fine. With regards to Su'udah Shlishit, the third meal, for that a person will have to rely on the opinions that you can have Su'udah Shlishit not with bread, with other kinds of food or fruit, that one can still fulfill the mitzvah of Su'udah Shlishit. That's option 1. Option 2 is that a person has matzah ashira on Shabbat morning and Shabbat afternoon. Matzah ashira is matzah, wheat, which has been flour, which has been baked together with fruit juice, pure fruit juice. The Gemara says, interestingly, that when you bake flour together with fruit juice, it cannot become hametz. But if a drop of water falls into the fruit juice together with the flour, it actually becomes chametz quicker. So as long as the matzah is being made with pure 100% fruit juice, that matzah cannot become chametz, but you still can't fulfill the mitzvah of matzah with it in the night of Pesach. Therefore, one's allowed to have it on the day before Pesach. And so one could fulfill the mitzvah of the Su'udot of Shabbat, both on Shabbat morning and Shabbat afternoon, with matzah ashira. The problem with this solution is that the bracha is mizonot. Unless a person has quite a large amount of matzah ashira, we're talking about 4 to 5 matzot, square matzot of matzah ashira, one isn't able to say birkat hamazon or hamotzi. So it's not straightforward. A person can use this option. Also, Ashkenazim don't rely on this. They don't have matzah ashira the entire 7 days of Pesach. This is because they're concerned that maybe a drop of water fell into the fruit juice, and therefore they will not have any matzah ashira during Pesach. So that's not really an option for them to use matzah ashira on the day before Pesach. There is a third option, which Chacham Ovadia writes, and he prefers this option the most, and he would do this himself, is that he would fry the matzah or put the matzah, cook it. Matzah which has been cooked is no longer suitable for the mitzvah of eating matzah on Pesach night. And so therefore what he would do is take the matzot from before Shabbat, put it in the chicken soup for a couple of minutes, hot chicken soup for a couple of minutes, that then gets the status of cooked matzah. That matzah can no longer be used for the mitzvah of eating matzah on Pesach night, and therefore you may eat that matzah on the day before Pesach, because whatever can be used for the mitzvah of matzah cannot be eaten on the day before Pesach. Whatever can't be used for the mitzvah of matzah on Pesach can be eaten the day before Pesach. So he would do that, and like that fulfill the mitzvah of Su'udot Shabbat, both in the morning and in Su'udah Shilishit as well. This is called matzah metugenet or matzah mevushelet. And as long as the matzah is intact, one can say hamotzi and birkat hamazon on such matzah, even if it's just the regular amount of a kabetza, a regular amount of 56 grams or so. One can say birkat hamazon and netilat yadayim and hamotzi on that. So in conclusion, with regards to what to eat this coming Shabbat, on Friday night, one can eat chalot, just make sure there are no crumbs, or one can eat regular matzah, which one will be using the following night, and make hamotzi and birkat hamazon on it. On Shabbat morning, one can have chalot before 10 o'clock, and can continue the meal after 10 o'clock, as one as consumes all the chalot before 10 o'clock. Second option is to have matzah ashira, matzah made with fruit juice for Sfaradim, but you'd have to have quite a large amount in order to say birkat hamazon. We're talking about 5 matzot or so. Third option is before Shabbat to boil the matzah, or to put the matzah to cook it. And then if it's intact, one can say hamotzi and birkat hamazon on it in the morning, even after 10 o'clock. And for Su'udah Shilishit, either one doesn't have any matzah or bread, and just has fruits. Second option is one has matzah ashira, again quite a lot to eat. Third option is again matzah mevushelet, cooked matzah. That's another way a person can fulfill the mitzvah of Su'udah Shilishit. In all cases, Su'udah Shilishit should be eaten early on in the afternoon, so that person comes into Pesach with an appetite. Have a wonderful